Come now to item number 10, which is the Plan Change 10, Historic Heritage Schedule, Errors, Anomalies and Information Update. I'll just check that I've got our officers online. I should have Megan Patrick, Team Leader, and John Dogood. Have we got both Megan and John on the line?
I'm here.
That's Megan, and
yes.
John's there too. So before I get you to outline it, I'll ask Councillor Darby to move and Councillor Bartley to second the motion to approve the plan change.
All good, yes.
Good, and Councillor Bartley?
Yes, all good, thank you.
Thank you, and I'll ask Megan and John to talk to the paper, please.
I'm happy to introduce it. Plan Change 10 corrected errors and updated information for 146 historic heritage places identified in the unitary plan. This report seeks approval for the plan change. Please.
I've got terrible quality, Megan. I can get you to ring in, which might be on the basis of past experience the easiest way to do it. Have you got the number to ring in on?
I do. I will ring in right now.
Okay, and while you're ringing in, I'll get John just to see if he's got any comments he wants to make on the paper. John, your line was clearer, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, this is really a procedural item. I think as members of the governing body will be fairly familiar, making plan changes to the unitary plan operative is a matter that can't be delegated to staff or a subcommittee, and that's set out in the Resource Management Act. So all plan changes, public and private, eventually end back with the planning committee, and in this case, bring it back to you as governing body. So Megan was just outlining the content of the plan change. It was really fixing errors and anomalies with the heritage places in the plan. We had one appeal. The appeal is now resolved. It's been settled, and that's been endorsed by the Environment Court. So the plan change can now become operative, which is a great result. And we're really just seeking your endorsement of that recommendation. We'll then undertake the steps required to update the unitary plan and put a public notice in the paper.
Thank you very much. That probably covers it pretty well. Have we got Megan back on the line?
Unfortunately, I'm having trouble calling in.
Oh, okay. Has John covered the points that you were going to make, Megan, or is there something you'd like to add?
No, John's covered it very well. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mayor. And
the quality of your voice has just improved. So we have we'll take questions and comments together, and I've had an indication from Councillor Desley Simpson that she has a question. Councillor Simpson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Look, I sent my questions through and I thought they'd be covered, but I'll just ask them again quickly. So is it correct that councillors cannot interfere with the decision now other than to accept it? And my second question is, are all parties now in agreement with the decision?
And that can go to John or Megan. Who would like to answer that?
Megan had the questions in advance from Councillor Simpson. So, Megan, if you're there, I'll hand over to you.
Yes, I'm happy to answer those two questions. Please call out if my quality is poor again. In answer to the second question, there were two parties, the Hebrew Congregation and Auckland Council, and both of us were signed the consent order and were satisfied with the outcome. In answer to the first question, the consent order for the synagogue was signed under delegated authority. It has been endorsed by the Environment Court, and those provisions under the RMA are now considered in effect to be operative. So you are correct. This is the final step in the plan making process, and it is procedural in nature. There's limited, if not no, ability to influence the outcome of that appeal resolution.
Thank you, Megan.
Thanks for that clarification.
Yep, that was very clear. Now, this is pretty straightforward, so I'm not imagining we have a lot of comments or questions, but is there any other person with a comment or a question they'd like to make? If not, I'll put
Just
the
following Chris
Yeah,
Darby, Mayor. Just to follow on, I'm hearing Councillor Simpson's question about, this is just procedural and you just vote for it. That is not the case. There's still a motion to be put. And if a councillor, despite all the evidence and the agreement, wants to vote against it, they still can vote against it. It would be rather strange, but I've seen stranger things at council.
I think if we know that this is an order of the court, that's the final step, and that was the advice that Megan has given us. Any further questions or comments? If not, I'm going to put the resolution. All those in favour, please say aye.
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 To the contrary, no. Carried.